Don't give up on the hard things. Don't you just love coffee? Coffee is just one of those things that is so nice to drink. It's warm, it has a good flavor, it energizes you, and it's kind of addicting. Mmm, tasty. Coffee is one of those things that come easy. Well, at least for most people, if you like it. It's one of those things that goes down easily. It's nice to make. It's nice to sit around a cup of coffee and have a conversation and just chat with your friends. It's nice to sit in a coffee shop and just vibe. But unlike coffee, a lot of things in life can get sticky and can get hard and can get difficult. Things that initially seemed easy might turn out to be a lot harder than we initially thought. And when it becomes hard, when that easy thing becomes difficult, our natural response sometimes is to just say, I give up. I'm gonna walk away. I'm done with this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to put myself through this thing anymore. And even though that might seem like the right thing at that time, often it's a lot better to keep on going with the hard thing, to push yourself through it, to see how far you can push yourself through, and to see if you can take that task at least until completion, or to continue with that hobby, or continue with that difficult thing. There's a lot of things in life that start off easy. There's a lot of things in life that look easy at first glance, and when we give it a try, we might fail because it was a lot more complicated than we initially anticipated, or there's just a lot more nuance around something. Let's take something simple. Let's say you wanted to pick up art, and you wanted to become an artist, and you wanted to start drawing. Art is a skill. It's something new that you will have to learn. And the first time, at least if you're anything like me, when you start drawing, it's gonna be horrible. I'm still terrible at drawing. I can't do it. But it's only because I haven't pushed myself and I haven't pushed myself to learn how to draw. You see, a lot of the times when we fail, we go, oh no, I'm done. I'm not gonna continue with this thing. But what we actually need to do is we need to push ourselves. We need to keep engaging with that difficult thing because over time, it'll become more easy. You see, challenges are an inevitable part of life. They test our limits, they push us out of our comfort zone, and they force us to grow. It's important to recognize that the struggle we face is not just an obstacle to overcome, but those struggles are opportunities to learn, opportunities to evolve and to become stronger, to become greater. Each challenge carries with it a lesson, a chance to discover your resilience or your determination. Imagine if every success came easily. Would it feel rewarding at the end of the day? The hard things in life is what makes our achievements meaningful. They remind us that we are capable of more than we think, and that our potential is vast and often untapped. Imagine if everything came easy to you. Nothing would be a challenge and nothing would be rewarding. There is nothing more rewarding than overcoming that one difficult task, than when you pour your heart and soul in and all of the effort that you have into one thing. And when you finish that task, when you reach the end, the top point of the mountain, or when you finish that race, it fills you with such exhilaration and a sense of accomplishment. And it goes beyond that. It forms a part of your character. You see, the difficult things we put ourselves through has an immense effort in our character building process. Every person goes through this phase or goes through this thing in life, and it's not just something that you do once and then it's finished. It's a constant thing where you have to build your character, where you have to grow as a person, and that growth can come from a growth in skills. It can come from a growth in interpersonal relationships. It can come from just a growth in how you understand and perceive the world. You see, nobody's perfect. Nobody has it all figured out. We're all in this together. We're all trying to do our best. And every time we take on something hard, that task or that new skill that we're going to do, or that thing that we need to accomplish, will teach us a valuable lesson. It'll allow us to grow into the person that will be better than who we are now. And I'm not saying that you're a terrible person, or I'm not saying that you lack skill. I'm not saying any of that. But what I'm saying is, difficult things in life often grant us an opportunity to grow and to become better and to become even more than what we are. Life isn't as simple as a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is simple, it's nice, it's easy. But have you ever thought about the process of creating a cup of coffee? A cup of coffee, like you might make instant coffee, or you grind your beans, and then you make your coffee, and you're at the very end of that process. But before that cup of coffee can even get to your table, it has to go through an immense process. You see, they need to grow the coffee, they need to dry the coffee, they need to put it through a logistics process, they need to then roast the coffee, then it needs to go through a whole different logistic process until it's finally arrived at your table. Now imagine if somebody gave up on the process and they said, no, this is just too complicated, I don't want to do this, it's not going to be worth it, there will be no coffee. Then we would never have that. Or chocolate, or anything really worthwhile. Civilization is built upon the efforts of those people who wanted to do something difficult, something hard, and they succeeded. And the world is better for it, or, they are better for it. I'm not saying that the difficult thing you have to do has to change the world, but as long as it changes your world, it's worth it. And my cup of coffee also wants to come with me. What I'm trying to say is, the difficult thing that you're facing might change your world, might change your perspective, might change your character. So you might be saying, okay, great, you're saying all these things about how good it is to continue with the hard things, but I am in that spot now where things are too difficult. I don't see a way out. I don't see a way for me to move forward. How can I possibly carry on? Here's a few strategies to cultivate resilience. And resilience is something very important because we need to be resilient in order to take on those harder tasks. We need to be resilient in order to see ourselves through them. So number one is to set realistic goals. Of course, break down the larger goals into something smaller, more meaningful, and more manageable. Because if you're going to take on a mountain at the start of your journey, it's gonna look impossible. But if you say, I just want to get to the top of that hill by the end of this day, it's much more manageable, and you will be much more positive in your efforts to accomplish that goal. Speaking about being positive, that brings us to our second tip, and that is to stay positive. Focus on the progress that you've already made rather on the distance that you need to go. Positive thinking can significantly impact our motivation and overall outlook on things. And staying positive also, it's kind of like removing the negative aspects of things, like saying, I'll never get it done, or, oh, look at all of this effort that I need to do. Don't focus on all of that. Focus on the reward. Focus on the things that you have accomplished, and focus on the outcome of this difficult thing. Then number three would be learning from failures. You see, in every journey, there's going to be failure. It's inevitable. Failure is what makes us strong. Failure is where we learn the lessons that we need to learn. View each failure as a learning experience. Analyze it, analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again with renewed vigor. Try again and see where you can do something different. You know that expression, the definition of insanity is trying the same thing every time in the same way and expecting a different result. Learn from your failures. See how you can use those failures to transform your efforts so that you can reach success. Then number four is seek support. Surround yourself with people who believe in your goals, believe in your mission. Their encouragement and support can be invaluable to your efforts, and it can see you through during tough times. Support yourself with supportive people. Well, surround yourself with supportive people that truly want you to succeed. Maybe form part, if let's go back to the artist thing, maybe form part of a group of aspiring artists, people that want to draw, and maybe you have a Discord call every week or so, and you draw together and you showcase what you've done, and you can give each other pointers, and you can just motivate each other to keep on moving forward. And the last tip or point or thing that I want to say is take care of yourself. Physical and mental well-being it's crucial. Ensure that you're getting enough rest, you're eating well, you're finding time to relax and recharge, because at the end of the day, you can only give as much as you have in you. All of us have a finite amount of energy inside of us. It's like again, a cup of coffee. Here, this cup of coffee contains a certain amount. Oh dear. This cup of coffee contains a certain amount of liquid inside of it. It contains a certain amount of coffee inside of it. And it can only give as much as it has in it. Same with you. You will only be able to give as much as you have in you. Make sure that you recharge. Make sure that you rest. Make sure that you are full. Because it's a lot harder to take on a difficult task or to take on a hard task when you are burnt out, when you don't have anything else to give. It's a lot harder to take on those hard tasks when you are tired and frustrated. If you do feel tired and frustrated, maybe put the task down for today, take a step back and relax. There's no shame in just taking a short break, as long as you get back to that task eventually. Remember, it's not a race, it's about the journey. It's not a race to see who can reach the top of the mountain first. But what you do want to do is you do want to reach the top of that mountain, because it'll grow you as a person, it'll grow your character, and you will be better for it. So I want to motivate you. Don't give up on the hard things in life. The hard things in life is those things that are the most rewarding. It's those things where we have the most growth, and it's those things where we can experience the most joy when we do finally accomplish it. Thank you so much for drinking a little bit of coffee with me. Oh dear. Thank you so much for drinking a little bit of coffee with me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video up until the end. You are a legend. If you liked the video, maybe think about liking and subscribing. And yeah, that's it for today. I'll be seeing you next time. Thanks so much. Take care of yourself. Bye bye.